In a large field near the boundary area, a herd of 20 to 30 wild boars appeared and moved toward Mississippi City. They ran in a long line at a speed of approximately 25 miles per hour before suddenly attacking a glasses store. The incident caused widespread panic among people at the scene, many of whom were encountering wild boars for the first time. The animals' immense strength shattered the glass doors, leading to significant destruction inside the store. The estimated cost of repairs reached up to $3.4 million. The problems did not end there. Many traffic collisions involving wild boars have occurred continuously on highways, especially at night. In just 1 month, there were as many as 54 reported car collisions with these animals, resulting in extensive damage to numerous vehicles. These recurring incidents have left the Mississippi state government deeply concerned. Authorities are now urgently seeking effective measures to address the growing disorder and security risks caused by the wild boar population. Confronted with the escalating destruction caused by these invasive wild boars, Mississippi authorities are currently aggressive and constant solution aerial hunting operations using helicopters. From high above, the pilots and hunters gain a commanding view of the sprawling forests, swamps, and open fields below. This bird's-eye perspective makes it far easier to spot herds of feral hogs as they forage from group across the nest. Once a group is located, the chase is on. The helicopter swoops at normal fast, orders thunder, while the shooters are armed and locked, prepare for precise shots. The tension builds with every sight. Hogs bolt for cover, darting toward thick brush or hard-to-reach wetland. The aerial advantage will vanish in seconds. Hunters have to react instantly, firing accurately and robbing the animals before they disappear from the undergrowth. The roar of the engine, the crack of gunfire, skill and nerve. Success in these dangerous missions depends entirely on tight teamwork. Every member of the crew has a critical role, spotting targets, communicating positions, coordinating maneuvers, and handling unexpected threats from the aggressive charging boars. Clear, rapid radio calls and complete trust in one another's abilities are non-negotiable. In the unforgiving terrain of dense woods and unpredictable weather, a single mistake could spell disaster. That's why safety gear is mandatory. Helmets, protective eyewear, body armor, and other equipment shield the team from ricochets, debris, and the raw hazards of flying low over rough country. Through seamless coordination and ironclad preparation, these hunters push back against the boar invasion, one aerial sweep at a time. Always keep your firearm in top shape with regular inspections and cleaning, and only pull the trigger when you've got plenty of daylight or clear visibility to make safe, ethical shots. On top of that, stick to all the rules. Get the right permits, follow state hunting laws, and make sure everything's legal before you head out. For helicopter hunts specifically, smart hunters pack noise-canceling headphones to cut down on the deafening roar from the rotors and gunfire. Those headphones aren't just about comfort. They dial back the stress, fight off your fatigue, shield your hearing long-term, and let you stay locked in on the action for sharper focus and better results overall. Nighttime ops pick up the risk big time. Low light makes spotting and identifying targets way tougher, cutting down accuracy and ramping up the chance of mistakes in an already high-stakes environment. In Mississippi, every feral hog hunt feels like its own wild adventure. Each one throws something new at you. Seasoned locals have honed razor-sharp skills over countless flights, from stealthy positioning to flawless gun work under pressure. They've dropped hundreds of these destructive invaders across the state's wide-open fields and thick bottomlands, capitalizing on every fleeting chance. When a herd gets spotted, it's pure chaos. Boars explode into a sprint, tearing across the ground at full throttle to dodge the chopper, kicking up clouds of dust and grit in their wake. It's a raw, primal showdown, man versus nature's toughest predators. The helicopter's massive blades whip the air, rattling treetops and shaking the canopy as the crew scans from way up high. That elevated vantage point is a game changer, letting hunters pick out fast-moving groups slipping through the underbrush without ever setting foot on the ground. The helicopter's rotors aren't just for show. They're a game-changing asset, giving hunters a massive edge in navigating those tough, tangled woodlands where ground pursuits would be a nightmare. To gear up for this high-flying challenge, aspiring aerial hog hunters dive into specialized training programs focused on firearm safety and pinpoint accuracy from the sky. These courses typically run about 3 months, covering everything from mastering long-range rifles and sidearms to handling real-world scenarios mid-flight. Shooting feral hogs from a chopper demands razor-sharp skills and hands-on practice. You've got to sync up seamlessly with the pilot and ground crew to spot targets, line up shots, and take them down without putting anyone at risk. That said, these hunts often stir up fierce backlash, with critics pointing out the potential harm to forest ecosystems and wildlife balance. Beyond the environmental concerns, public safety looms large, especially when operations buzz close to neighborhoods or city edges, raising fears of stray bullets or unintended chaos. On the ethical side, plenty of folks argue that turning the hunt into a thrill ride or trophy chase crosses a line, seeing it as outright cruelty rather than necessary control. Still, Mississippi's helicopter campaigns have proven their worth, shielding communities from vicious boar rampages and slashing accident rates by a solid 30% year over year. What's your take on this bold strategy? Sound off in the comments below. Maybe share some moral support for the folks in Mississippi battling these invaders. Toss in a heart emoji for good vibes and family luck if you're feeling it. Stick around for more in the video, and let's talk solutions. These tactics have done wonders curbing invasive species, but got any fresh ideas to amp things up? Drop them in the comments so we can hash it out. Huge thanks for watching all the way through. If you dug it, hit that like button, share with your crew, and subscribe for more. Spread the word to your friends too. See you in the next one. We knew right away that charging in with guns or loud tactics was off the table. The goal was crystal clear: safeguard what little property remained, keep every person on the team completely safe, and bring this whole situation to a peaceful end. A smart play. A carefully planned, zero-violence operation. We built a wide-ranging encirclement perimeter backed by a hidden network of motion-activated surveillance cameras. This approach gave us the best shot at rounding up the entire group without putting the local community, or ourselves, in any real risk. Things were about to get intense, so buckle up, the real action was just beginning. At first light, our crew hit the ground running. By the time we reached the site, we'd already sketched out a rough but detailed map of their travel patterns, marking the trails they'd worn in and the spots where they liked to linger and feed. We didn't waste a moment. In the highest risk zones, the places they couldn't resist, we quietly set up heavy-duty traps and positioned the cameras for crystal-clear remote viewing. Every second counted. Even a short delay could let them swarm through and wipe out whatever was left standing. With everything locked and loaded, we switched to silent mode. Team members fanned out, taking up positions around the trap clusters without a sound or sudden move that might spook them. It wasn't long before the bait did its job. One by one, the whole herd wandered right in, drawn by instinct. Once we had a solid count and confirmed they were all in the secure zone, I hit the remote trigger. The gates dropped smoothly, sealing the entire invading crew inside. Mission accomplished. No shots fired, no one hurt. Sometimes the smartest move is staying quiet and letting the animals come to you. The real trick to drawing the whole herd right into the trap was laying out trails of cornmeal in a smart, circular pattern along the fence lines. Down in Texas farms, the data backs this up. Cornmeal, or similar corn-based baits, pulls in groups of 30 to 50 feral hogs like clockwork, getting them to bunch up dead center in the trap for a clean one-shot capture when you hit the trigger. Folks often ask why we'd risk setting the trap smack at the edge of the damaged cornfield, where half the crop was already torn up and more boars could just pile in and finish the job. But that's exactly the point. It's a bold, calculated strike. Those automatic corral traps are rigged to slam shut the second the herd crowds in close, nabbing every last one before they can charge deeper and wipe out what's left. The whole operation was about keeping things safe, no charging in, no chaos, no risk to the locals or the team. Timing was everything. While the hogs were heads down, stuffing themselves on the bait, we remotely triggered the circular enclosure and locked them down without a single spook or struggle. Minutes later, a second trap sealed the deal, wrapping up the day's haul. Peering through the hidden camera feed, I waited for that perfect window, enough in the zone, no stragglers, and dropped the gate. It worked like a charm. We took down a big sounder with 0 injuries, sticking to humane wildlife standards every step of the way. To handle numbers like this, the local crew had put in serious upgrades on their basic cage setups. Driving those heavy steel bars deep into the ground took real muscle and know-how, but it made all the difference when the moment came. These old-school steel cage traps aren't as flashy as the high-tech Jaeger Pro Corral systems out there today. But let me tell you, without driving those heavy stakes deep into the ground, a big sounder of feral hogs can bust right through and wreck everything you've worked for. Back in North Texas, me and local folks still swear by these rugged steel setups. They're tough, reliable, and get the job done season after season. The upgrades we've made have paid off huge. We pulled hundreds of invasive hogs out of the fields every hunting cycle, saving corn crops from total wipeout and giving the land a fighting chance. But honestly, the real win isn't just the body count. It's the peace of mind we've handed back to farmers and families who are losing sleep over nightly raids. In a world where feral hogs rack up billions in damage every year, estimates put it north of $1.5 billion in AG losses alone across the U.S. Smart, humane, low-risk methods like this are exactly what the future of wildlife control needs to look like. Once the trap snaps shut and we've got a solid haul of hogs safely contained, the next big question hits. What do we do with them? Haul them back to controlled farms for breeding and turning them into quality meat, or process them right and get the meat straight to markets and supermarkets under strict safety rules. Both paths have solid economic upside. One builds a sustainable protein source, the other puts food on tables fast while cutting waste. What would you pick? Drop your take in the comments below. I'd love to hear your ideas and maybe even spark some better solutions together. These kinds of traps have already done wonders stopping the spread of invasives like this. If you've got tweaks or next level ideas, let's talk about it. Thanks a ton for watching all the way through. It means a lot. If it helped or got you fired up, smash that like button, share it with your buddies who deal with the same headaches, and hit subscribe so you don't miss the next part. We'll dive into the full processing steps and even more game-changing hog trapping tricks. Catch you in the next one. Stay safe out there.